Hello there, welcome to my views and news. Two news stories. Firstly, is Ethiopia really training, arming Eritrean opposition fighters? An Ethiopian politician who is now based abroad leveled some serious allegations against the Ethiopian government 2 days ago in an interview. If people are asking questions saying, what is the truth? How far is Ethiopia backing Eritrean opposition groups? When did this new animosity start? Secondly, drone strikes have been conducted on Afar, on Djibouti Ethiopia border. Reportedly, it was announced by an Afar armed group operating in Djibouti in border areas, Djibouti Ethiopia border areas. Let's start yours. An Ethiopian politician gave an interview a few hours ago, and for the last not a few hours ago, but a few days ago, and since then, the contents of the interview have been in discussion. His name is Andergai Sege, man very close to Eritrean government, because if you remember, Andergai Sege, Bhano Naga, others, they were part of an armed group which fought EPRDF. They were trained, funded by Eritrea. They remained based in Eritrea. They remained in exile. And when Abiy came to power in 2018, Branu Nayaga, Andargacho Sege like people, they reconciled with the government. The imprisoned activists were released as well. Andargacho Sege has been working as chief operating officer of ESAT 2. And for years, he has been in touch with Eritrean intelligence agencies. During Tigray war, we saw that Sege like people, they wore military uniform, they came to Ethiopia, they backed federal government in the war against Tigray fighters. Under Gachusege now is very critical of Ethiopian government since the Ethiopian government launched military operation in Amhara. And Gachusege has been criticizing the government. And now he claims that Ethiopia is actively arming, training Eritrean fighters. What did he say? Gachusege said that at Birshaleko Ethiopian military training center, Eritrean opposition fighters are being trained. Military training is underway. ENDF channels are monitoring the training activities of the Eritrean opposition fighters. He claimed that Eritrean opposition activists from Uganda and from UK were invited to Ethiopia, and they were also trained. That Ethiopia is now actively working to destabilize, to remove Sasawoki government. And he claimed that all that started after Sasawoki, in an interview, criticized ethnic federalism in Ethiopia. Now, what is the truth? Firstly, I think I was the first one who reported about the activities of Eritrean opposition groups in Ethiopia. I showed you videos. I told you about Brigade Hamido's activities in Ethiopia. I told you about Rasado's activities in Afar region. I told you about Eritrean Afar National Congress office inauguration in summer. I told you about Tagi's meeting in Ethiopia. So Ethiopian contacts with Eritrean opposition groups are not a secret. Everyone knows that because Ethiopia is not hiding it. Brigade Hamid, the people met publicly in Addis Ababa, just a few, not a few, less than a kilometer away from Eritrean embassy in Ethiopia. Ethiopia hosts Eritrean opposition groups. So Ethiopia is not hiding it. And Ethiopia accuses Eritrea of backing, arming Amhara Fano fighters. And secondly, Ethiopia, I think Ethiopian PM is disgruntled with Eritrea. He was hoping to gain access to sea. Maybe he was promised during the war when Eritrea was supporting Ethiopian government that after the war, Ethiopia will gain access to Assab. So his uh, efforts to gain access to sea through Eritrea are not working. That is why Abiy wants to put pressure upon Eritrea, and Eritrea wants regime change in Ethiopia. Why? Because it does not trust Abiy. It doesn't want to directly intervene in Ethiopia. It wants indirect intervention, which it is working on. So both countries are involved in working against each other. And Eritrea hosted Al-Sisi and Hassan Sheikh a few weeks ago. Eritrea was the center of the formation of anti-Ethiopia alliance. So both are doing the same thing. But what Under Gejusege claimed can only be proven by him. I mean, we have no information that Ethiopia is actively arming and recruiting and training Eritrean opposition fighters. We have no such evidence. It's not that Anagajosege is speaking, he's telling a lie. Maybe he knows what we don't know. But so far, we have not been able to confirm this level of support from Ethiopia for Eritrean opposition groups. Yes, Ethiopia is organizing them politically, backing them, funding them, but that they are being trained at Birshaleko Military Training Center, I don't know. I have no information. And these people, by the way, under Gachusege, other Fano supporters, they want to pit Eritrea against Ethiopia. They want Ethiopia-Eritrea war. They want Abiy to wage war on Eritrea or vice versa. They want war to happen. Why? Because they want operation against Fano to stop. They want Abiy's government to be destroyed. That is why sometimes they make up stories. Secondly, drone strikes have been conducted on Djibouti-Ethiopia border. It happened around a week ago. Information from this area does not come out very swiftly because of the lack of communication networks. There are far off areas where media has no access, where sometimes mobile service is not available to. FRUD has issued a statement. FRUD, Front for Restoration of Unity and Democracy, is a Djibouti's opposition armed group fighting for Afar rights. This group claims that Somali Isas are dominating and looting Djibouti's resources, and Afar people being denied their rights in Djibouti. FRUD is a political party as well. It has two wings, you can say, though both are not on one page. One is a political party which contests elections. Other is an armed group. Both were under one administration, but under one dispensation. But in 1994, this split. There are two FRUDs. One is a political party, and the second one is an armed group. The armed group FRUD has issued a statement saying that at the end of last month, drone strikes were conducted by Djibouti's Air Force. Drone strikes were conducted and gunship helicopters were used to target FRUD fighters. That was followed by ground operation against FRUD fighters, and fighting went on for a week almost in Djibouti, on Djibouti Ethiopia border, on Djibouti Afar border. And FRUD claimed that it repelled the attack launched by Djibouti's military. It claimed that innocent civilians were hit in these drone strikes. These FRUD fighters have been receiving support from Eritrea in the past. They'll be receiving support from Ethiopian affairs too. And off and on, we see attacks by FRUD on Djibouti's military. A few months ago, they kidnapped several Djibouti's soldiers. And then I think Ethiopia mediated to secure the release of Djibouti's soldiers. Thank you for watching.